So I'm going to sort of keep on this theme. I was thinking this morning as I was pouring my coffee, and I thought if there was one thing I had to have in my investment toolbox and my life management toolbox, what would it be? What is the line in the sand? And I came to this conclusion as I'm pouring the second cup of coffee this morning. It's the intermediate trend line. And my intermediate trend line is a quarter of the number of trading days in a year. And right now that's 62 trading days is a quarter of the number of trading days in a year. And I use this, and what I have found is it's amazing to me how easy and how much this really works. This yellow line here is my 62-day moving average on a daily chart. And so I'm going to eliminate the 200, which is my nothing good happens below the 200 line.
Mm.
That's a Paul Tudor Jones thing. And my short term, which is a leading indicator to what is going to happen in the next 15 or so days. And that's that line there. So we're just going to look at this yellow line. If I only had this, what does this tell me?
I mean,
Dow Jones is going to continue to
I
go
mean this
lower.
20 average.
SPY hit it twice yesterday, Friday, and then yesterday. Today it's going to open up lower. The Qs, where is it? There
There
we
it is.
go. There it is. Opened up. Was it Thursday? Hit it, retreated, closed above it on Friday, closed above it yesterday. Looking for confirmation today, but pre-market, I'm looking at 480 on the Qs right now. If I go down to the dollar, what's this telling me? The dollar is weakening and has been weakening since February. It's continuing to weaken. Would I be buying the dollar? Would I be bullish? No, I'd be bearish on this. Gold. What is gold telling me? Gold is bullish. It continues to be bullish. If I'm only using one tool, the 60 intermediate trend line, that's what it's telling me. The 10-year yield, okay? Remember, yields work opposite of the value of the bond. Yields go up, value of the bond goes down, and vice versa. Would I be buying bonds today? Maybe not, because the yield is continuing to go higher and the value of that bond is going lower. We're at an inflection point here. Are we going to go lower today? Are we going to go higher? I look for confirmation. If I go into Kerry's bus list, Uber, bullish, above the intermediate trend line. IBM, oh, maybe not. Hit it, it's hit it. What, one back on the April 23rd, hit it again yesterday, closed above it, but today is having trouble right at that line. CrowdStrike, above it. Well, that's bullish. Mercury Systems, above it. That's bullish. Okay. Now, a service now gapped up, moved higher. Is it I could sit here and play mental games with myself, but if I just look at this and go, I'm just going to follow this intermediate trend line, it's still bullish. We still have some positive. That's when you add a second layer to your process. Navitas, bearish, headed south. Soundhound, this came up yesterday. What do you see? Bearish. Hit it yesterday or hit it on Friday, hit it close to hit it on the 25th of April. Close below it again. It's going to open lower by almost 25 cents or so. This is what I'm looking at. You want to get into currency ETFs? Wow, this is simple. Euro above. That's a bullish sign. Japanese yen, it's above it. British pound, survey says it's above it. Swiss franc, above it. Canadian dollar, above it.
Is that called the
Australian
loonie?
dollar. Huh?
Is that called the loonie still? The Canadian
Uh,
dollar.
I don't know. What I will say is still bullish on an intermediate term factor. So when you're building your process, take into account if you had to have one thing that you just swore by and you live by, what is it? Is it the 200? Is it my intermediate? Is it a short-term 15 period or a 9 period? Whatever it is. I think this is what this market is going to tell us is if you don't have one thing in your toolkit, you're going to get taken out to the woodshed and you're going to get beaten bad. And what this is telling me is there is great opportunity. This is Alliance Resources. We brought up coal mining companies 2 weeks ago. This is sideways, but it's above the intermediate trend. Arch Limited below it. There's opportunities in this market, but without a really solid defining one thing that dictates both long-term, short-term, and long-term investing, you're gonna get hurt. And I'm pounding the table because today we're gonna see, I'll show you one more chart. I'll get off my soapbox here. I talk about volatility a lot. What happened? We broke through the intermediate trend line back on March 28th. We blew through it. We got as high intraday of 60 on the VIX. And we have started to head lower. We closed below it on May 2nd. Okay, well, maybe volatility is going down. Maybe markets are going to get more predictable in a sense of directionally where they're going. What happened today? The VIX will open above the intermediate trend line. That tells me volatility is coming back into this market, which means stocks, volatility can be a positive or a negative. But if I team this up with my stock position or crypto position that I'm in, what it's telling me is volatility is starting to widen and that I could have more volatility in my equities, in my stocks, in my bonds, my crypto. So as you're doing this, as you're building this process, figure out what that one thing is without line in the sand that applies from everything from the short term to the long term. That one thing that says, if it does this, I'm in or I'm out, and I live by it. You apply that to your life, to other aspects of your life, you will live a good life. I am one who has learned the hard way when it comes to having a line in the sand of living life. I've gone from hero to zero in the last 5 years to back to hero. And that line in the sand, if you can develop in your life and apply it to your investing, you will become a winner and you will be so happy and so proud of yourself as you go to bed each night. And you will live excited as you wake up every morning and you will attack the world in a positive way. Figure out what that line in the sand is for you and do it, live by it, and swear by it. There you go. All right. So let's open it up to the floor.
I think the key is it doesn't have to be that hard. Okay.
No.
What Trent did is different than what I do, but it's not. Okay. He picked a different line. Okay. If you look at, I mean, he has an intermediate. If you look at what he did, he's not trading in and out like on a swing trade. You know, I have a bunch of numbers because I trade in and out and you get in and out. He's more intermediate term. And just like he's using the 62, and which is close to the 50, which you can see here, Paul Tudor Jones uses the 200, which is, I mean, look how long you'd be in this trade. You wouldn't even have to worry about getting in and watching it every day. And this is on, the daily chart. So one line can make a big difference in your life and in your trading. And I agree with you 100%, Trent, that it doesn't have to be that hard, but have a process, have a guideline, follow something. Shooting from the hip is not going to get you anywhere, but probably poor.
I'll give you a prime example. Using a line in the sand outside of investing, I can't drink beer because of the yeast in it. And I am not allowed to drink more than 2 little glasses of tequila in public. Or the next day I will be looking at a divorce lawyer. It is literally the line in the sand in my life when it comes to my relationships with my body and with my wife. It is that simple. I go out, we go to family events, and it was brought to my attention about a month ago. You are no longer allowed to drink as much as you want of that tequila. I know you love it. I know you love the taste of it, but you start talking about shit and people start getting weird. They get uncomfortable. And I'm pretty much, I'll say anything without, but
Under
that
the
was my
right
line in the
company, that's a
sand.
good
Well,
thing.
now
Under the right company, that might be just fine though.
you might
Yeah.
let out too much. That might be bad.
Well,
Among
that's the
friends.
But
problem.
now we know. Now we know how to get you. Get you
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
bar.
A little Christmas
Yeah.
gift there. Yep. Yeah, at the
Oh.
bar. At the
My problem is I start using different accents, and it can be, I love the Indian accent. I think it's so cool, and my kids are like, Dad, enough. So the point is, have that one thing in your investing process and in your life that you go bullish or bearish. Live by it, you'll do well. So let's open it up to the floor. I know Palantir was a subject yesterday.
Oh, it's going to go down today.
It
You know,
is.
Right.
actually, I was looking at it. This is the norm. You know, they saw on the news opportunity to buy more. So that's what I'm going to be doing as it goes down. I'm going to buy some more.
So what-
because I think it's going to do very well over time.
If when I look at a chart of it and I use my intermediate trend line, is 95.95 right now. $95.95. I look at it and I go, that could be a great opportunity. If it holds up at that line, then
that's
it could be.
That's extracting retail.
Explain what you mean by that.
retail.
What I mean by that, it's a retail stock, is what I mean by that. And, you know, retail is mostly controlling the price of this stock. And we all know it's it's 50 times, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's, it's like 30 times more than 20 times more than what it should be, really, at this point. But
Yeah.
because you put that factor in there of retail, 95 is not the number.
I guess I would look at how much of this stock is owned by institutions versus retail as opposed to trading it. And if the institutions own, let's say 75, 80% of this stock, and if they decide to dump, it doesn't matter what retail does. But I don't know how much of institutions own. I could look it up.
They don't own
I'm
a
trying-
lot. It's not an institutional stock. They have been boycotting it for whatever reasons. It's
Really?
mostly
Is
a retail stock. A lot of people don't like Alex Carp. I like guys like that.
Yeah. It's got a PE ratio of 651 and a forward PE ratio of 212. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But
Yeah.
I've made a lot of money in that stock.
Yeah.
It's 40% institutional,
Okay, that makes
And-
more sense then.
5% insiders, and 55% owned by public companies and individual investors.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that
got
makes more sense to me. Those are the kind of things I'd look into.
yeah.
To make
that's
up what
why-
Bob, to verify what Bob's saying.
Yeah. I've did all that review
Yeah.
already.
I trust, but I verify, Bob.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that Ronald Reagan line.